Hi, this is Kim Chase with Chase Fitness. Today I'm bringing you a special guest, Stephanie Yankovic. She is a master trainer with the Kettlebell Training Academy, and I've had the pleasure of spending the weekend with her doing kettlebell certification, and she is amazing. And I wanted her to bring some great information to you guys so that you guys can learn from what she's been teaching, because I know there's a lot of ill-taught forms and there's misconceptions about how to perform properly on the kettlebell. You can go to YouTube and you can find 1,000 things out there, but you don't know which is the best one or which is right. So I'm going to get Stephanie to tell you a little bit about one of the biggest misconceptions or things that are taught wrong. So Stephanie, tell me, what do you think is probably the biggest mistake people make when learning kettlebells, and which is the one exercise that probably needs the most improvement?
Right, Kim, I think that most commonly people don't get instruction before they begin, and that's a no-no. Most of kettlebell technique is very technique and form focused, and you need to be able to do it properly for it to be effective. And I think one of the most misunderstood movements, but most oftenly practiced with poor form, is the kettlebell swing, and I'd love to demonstrate it. And we'll talk about some of the inconsistencies with how people are training.
Yes, absolutely. Take her away and show us how to do it right.
Thank you. So the kettlebell swing is all about generating power from your hips and using a hip hinge or a hip pop to generate power. You're not lifting the kettlebell with your hands. It's actually a wonderful exercise. It's going to raise your resting heart rate. It's very highly metabolic, and it uses both your lower body, primarily your posterior chain, and integrates with your upper body as well. So when you're starting with the kettlebell swing, you want to make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart. You have a nice athletic stance. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to hike the kettlebell between our legs. We're not going to drop down very far. It's just a little bit of a hip hinge, and then we're going to use a very aggressive hip pop, thrusting our hips forward to generate the momentum for that kettlebell. We're going to not lift with our hands. We're going to try and keep our shoulders nice and relaxed, and we're going to pop our hips, doing a sharp power exhale as we pop with our hips. Okay, so it should look something like this. So some of the really common mistakes that people make when they're doing that is they're doing a very exaggerated squat movement, so that their hip swing is more up and down than an actual swing and a pop. So you want to avoid excessive knee bend. It's pulling your hips back as you would with a deadlift, and then popping them forward. The other common mistake that people will do is that they're lifting with their arms, or they're shrugging and lifting their shoulders up to their ears. Okay? So the kettlebell should just be, you let the momentum of the kettlebell swing, and you follow that, and you change direction with the hips at the bottom of the swing. I'll do it one more time. Hup, 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 hup. But I would say it's one of the most effective exercises you can do with the kettlebell, and so I hope that
yeah, that's awesome. One question though for you, and we discussed this earlier on this weekend, is that if somebody is trying to do this on their own and that kettlebell is flipping over and they're getting a little bit too much lift through the shoulders, that activity, which is not supposed to be a lift, what's the best way to correct that? You
can correct that a couple of ways. Either the weight is too light and you can give them a heavier weight, and over time it will correct itself. They won't be able to lift without the benefit of that hip pop. Or you have them do more reps, have them go longer. Eventually their arms will fatigue from the lifting, and they'll get that hip hop going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie, Master Trainer, Kettlebell Training Academy. Tell me where we can find more information about where your courses are and how people get hold of them.
So you want to go to our website. It's at www.kbelltrainingacademy.com. All of our courses are listed there, our K-Bell Trainer Certification courses, and also some of our group trainer courses. We have a Girevoy Sport course to teach you how to be a competitive kettlebell lifter. We also have a high performance course that's very exciting, and we'll teach you some of the really sexy kettlebell movements that are beyond the foundational movements.
I'm going for that one. All right, thank you so much for demonstrating today. As Kim Chase, I will see you at the gym.
Okay guys, happy swinging.